Coming up on Mountain News this morning, first responders in southern Kentucky mourn the loss of one of their own. And people in Bell County say goodbye to a well-known pastor who spent half a century teaching about the Bible.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 4:59. I'm Keaton Hall on this Wednesday morning. Let's throw it over to Brandon Robinson for a check at the weather.
Well, Keaton, this morning, not too bad. Actually, a little bit warmer than yesterday, and things look to be fairly nice today. So, again, we take a look at our 6-camera setup this morning. Thanks to Evan Hatter yesterday for setting that up for us as we go around the region. WYMT, Buffalo here in Perry County, also downtown Hazard, Somerset out in Pulaski County, London Corbin Airport, and Pikeville. All quiet this morning. No major issues across the region. As we said, a little cooler, or still a little warmer this morning than it was. Not as cool as it was yesterday. Some spots in the 50s already, like Moorhead, Jackson, Pikeville, Logan, Monticello out there this morning in the 50s. Pikeville looks to be the warm spot at 54 right now. It looks like 41 in Jonesville. Double checking the map there. Yep, 41 in Jonesville is the cold spot currently. A lot of mid to upper 40s out there this morning. Your out-the-door forecast, I think we're going to feature most of those mid to upper 40s, low 50s as we head deeper into the morning hours. Topping out around 82 today, sunny and warmer, but still dry. So burning, not recommended once again today. Keaton?
Thank you, Brandon. Whitley and Knox County first responders are mourning the loss of one of their own this week following the death of former firefighter Glenn Rainbow Baker. WYMT's Alyssa Williams checked in with those who worked alongside Baker to hear their memories and to learn more about the legacy he leaves behind.
To the world, he was known as Glenn Baker, but to those who knew him best, he was just Rainbow.
Rainbow's a dream. I mean, we're going to miss him dearly.
Baker was a longtime volunteer firefighter with the West Knox Volunteer Fire Department, where he began fighting fires in 1973.
He was always joking, always pulling pranks, always just fun. He was just really fun to be around.
Baker was hired on as a part-time employee for the Corbin Fire Department in 1990, then transitioned to working there full-time in 1993.
Actually, the fire chief at that time that hired me in asked me if I knew anybody that volunteered that would like to work for us, and I brought Rainbow on.
Those who worked alongside him said he always found a way to make even the hardest days easier to bear.
He was a joy to be around because he was funny all the time, and when you're dealing with things that firefighters and EMTs deal with, it's nice to have a little comedy in there because it's kind of stressful, you know, so that helps.
Baker retired from the Corbin Fire Department in 2010 after being diagnosed with cancer, but not before leaving a lasting impact on the younger firefighters.
He was battalion chief, so he ran one of our shifts, and the men looked up to him, respected him, and, you know, a lot of knowledge left us to the fire department whenever he retired.
A true servant of the community, those who knew him best say they just don't make them like Rainbow anymore.
But everybody in this community knows Rainbow. I mean, they don't know Glenn Baker, they know Rainbow.
Remembering the life and legacy of Glenn Rainbow Baker. In Corbin, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Along with serving his community as a longtime firefighter, Baker also worked for several EMS departments. Baker will have 2 visitations. The first will be at the O'Neill Lawson Funeral Home on Thursday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. The second will take place on Friday at the Poplar Grove Baptist Church, where his funeral will also be held immediately after. A well-known Bell County pastor was laid to rest yesterday. Reverend Bruce Waltzer died Saturday at the age of 92. Born in New York, Waltzer started attending Clear Creek Bible College in 1964 and preached for more than 50 years. The Korean War veteran was part of the Kentucky Baptist Convention Disaster Relief Team and the director of missions for the Bell Baptist Association for nearly 40 years. His funeral was held at East Cumberland Avenue Baptist Church in Middlesboro. 2 people were killed in a southern Kentucky crash yesterday morning. It happened on Highway 90 in the Gap Ridge area in Wayne County. The sheriff's office says 4 cars were involved. The identities of the people killed in the crash have not been released at this time. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. The person involved in a drug conspiracy case in Southwest Virginia has been sentenced for his role in the crime. The Lee County, Virginia Commonwealth's attorney announced on Monday that Carlton Adams of Dayton, Ohio, will spend 15 years in a Virginia prison. He was convicted by a Lee County jury back in December on charges related to the transportation and distribution of what police called large quantities of meth into their county. The two other defendants in the case, including Stephen Elliott of Loyal in Harlan County, were sentenced last month. A TickTock challenge turned deadly for one Ohio teenager. A 13-year-old participated in the Benadryl challenge. It's an allergy medication found in many homes. Parents of Jacob Stevens say he died after he took between 12 and 14 Benadryl pills. He spent nearly a week on the ventilator prior to his death. CBS News reports people are doing the challenge in order to have hallucinations. Chief Medical Officer of Baptist Health Lexington, Dr. Lee Dawson, says the antihistamine is most commonly used to treat seasonal allergies. People also use it to help them sleep because it's got a slight sedative effect. He says it's perfectly safe except in excess.
It can affect your heart rhythm. It can affect, it goes to the central nervous system, so it can cause seizures and really coma and sedation.
Following the incident, a statement was posted on Benadryl's website saying in part, quote, "The challenge, which involves ingestion of excessive quantities of diphenhydramine, is a dangerous trend and should be stopped immediately," end quote. Trails at a popular eastern Kentucky state park closed yesterday because of a forest fire. The fire started Thursday night at Natural Bridge State Park in Powell County. Around 75 firefighters from the State Division of Forestry and the U.S. Forest Service, along with local fire departments, are working to contain the fire. So far, there have been no reports of any injuries. People are advised to avoid the area. Kentucky Wildfire Management says more than 10,000 acres have burned since April of last year. 221 of those were arson. 201 were caused by debris. The spring forest fire season runs through April 30th. Well, thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, as some families with babies seek to make more environmentally friendly choices at the changing table, an old-fashioned idea seems to be making a comeback.
Another day with more sunshine on the way, but as we continue to track rain chances for the weekend, I'll have the latest in about 3 minutes.